Okay, so now we've come up to the third part. Okay, so it's a third part of our practical. Okay, so once you have a data layer with a special reference, okay, then it is only right for you to carry out your digitizing processes. So I do not recommend students or anyone to digitize a feature before that data layer, whether it's a map, image, and so on, has been georeferenced. Okay, so it will be a problem later on when you want to georeference your um, shapefile layers that you digitized. Okay, so I would recommend first find a data layer that has a special reference. If not, do the georeferencing first and then do the digitizing after that. Okay, so depending on the image that you have, okay, for this prac we only have either the aerial photo or the UMS image. Okay, so it's a UMS 3, okay, that I obtained from Google Earth. So for this part of heads up digitizing, it's up to you. You can use both like this to digitize, or you can click one over the other. Okay, so because if we were to use the drone image, some parts are cut off, but it's clearer, okay, to digitize some features. If we were to use the UMS from image from Google Earth, okay, it would sometimes it would be difficult to identify features that are of interest. So it's okay to have both like this and digitize. It won't interfere with your new layer. So how do we do digitizing? First of all, okay, you will need to have the editor tool. Okay, I don't want this anymore, so I'm gonna just customize toolbars. I'm gonna remove the georeferencing, so it's gone now. But you need to have the editor tool. Okay, make sure it's clicked. There's a tick here, which means it's here. Next, what you need to do is you're going to create a new layer. Okay, and you have to remember each layer can only be made of one type of vector. If you want to have polygons, okay, and you want to have lines for the roads, and you want to have points for the trees, then you will have 3 different new layers. Okay, you can't mix them up into one data layer. They are all different data layers. Okay, but you can sort them all here and put them on top of each other, and we can see all of these vectors together. Okay, but when you want to create a layer, each layer consists of one type of vector. So in your task, okay, at the last page of your practical manual, I've asked you to digitize some features. Okay, so make a map of FSSA, okay, showing several features as seen on the newly georeferenced aerial photo. And I'm going to put some exception here, and UMS 3, okay, digital map showing of FFSA. The features that you need to digitize are as follows: buildings represented by polygons, FSSA lake polygon, roads as polyline, and get something that you can represent as what you call it on as points. Okay, so the easiest features that I can think of are building, lakes, and roads, but try and get some features as points in your map would be great, and additional information there, and do all of these assessments. But before that, I'm going to show you how to create new layers of shapefiles. Okay, so select the folder where you want to store your new data layer. Okay, right click. Okay, and you will see that you want to create layer. Okay, hold on. No, it's not create layer actually. It will be a new. This is not right. Hold on. Prac4. Why isn't it giving me the option to create? Let me see. So right click on the folder that you're interested in. Okay, right click, and then you will see that there's option new. Okay, click on that. Okay, and it gives you several options what new thing you want to add to your folder. So because we're creating polygons, that's a shape file, so I want to add a shape file. Okay, so name your shape file. What is your first task? So let's say you want to create buildings. So buildings. Okay, feature type, is it point, polyline, polygon, and so on. So buildings, the best is best represented by polygons. I'm gonna put polygon here. All right. And what about the coordinate system? Yes, you know the coordinate system. It's a projected coordinate system of UTM. Okay, Malaysia. Okay, zone 50N. Okay. Okay. So click OK. Okay, and let's see your data frame properties. Make sure it's in the coordinate system that we want. Yes. Okay, so we're happy with that. So now you have a layer here called buildings, but this is empty. Nothing is here. Okay, if you open the attribute table, nothing is here. Why? Because we haven't created anything yet. So it's empty. There's no objects, there's no shape, and so on. So when we draw, okay, we will have polygons having this color. You can change this color. Okay, let's say I don't like this color. I want it to be probably red so I can see it as I digitize, and this one black. Okay, so the first step is click on buildings. Yes, click on editor. Okay, click on building, editor, start editing. So okay, so you can start editing now. Okay, what you need to do is start by clicking on this. Okay, we're gonna close this one. Okay, so construction 2. Okay, click on buildings here. Okay, remember you need to click on this box, this icon, create features. Click on buildings, and what type of tool you want to use. Is it a polygon that is shaped in circle, rectangle, or you want to put the vertices by yourself? Okay, for instance, since the square is irregular here, okay, I'm gonna just click on polygon. Okay, so what you need to do is, if you can't see it clearly, zoom in. Okay, and you can have multiple polygons that makes up FSSA. So for instance, it doesn't have to be that accurate, but try your best. Okay, click on one location. This means this is one node or vertex. Node is the end, the beginning or the end. And then I'm gonna put one click here. This is one vertex. I'm gonna trace this building as it is. Okay, I'm gonna click it like this. And as you can see, as we put on vertices, okay, across the shape, okay, we click on the shapes that we want. Okay, okay. Okay, so as you can see, the red color sometimes blocks your view. Okay, so if you're not happy, click on this while you do the editing and make the color hollow. Okay, but change the outline so you can still see it as red. Okay, okay, later it will follow through. So now I'm just going to trace whatever I can trace. Okay, let's say I'm going to just capture this part first, because I can still see it because it's semi-transparent here. Okay, so if you're not happy, okay, let's say this is not the correct location for my point of vertices, I'm just going to right click on that and delete vertex, so it reverses us to the previous vertex. So I'm going to click in a proper location. Okay, just let's say roughly this is my building, so this would be the last point for my first polygon. So for the last point, you need to double click. Okay, there you go, it's highlighted in blue. Okay, so once you've drawn one polygon, save edits. Okay, so this is one polygon, so you traced the other polygons as well. So this makes up one data layer, all representing buildings. So start tracing on the other buildings that you have. Okay, so I'm gonna just say save edits, stop editing. You can add more polygons just by clicking on start editing again. Okay, click on your layer. Let's go back to our catalog. Okay, buildings. Okay, editor, start editing, click on buildings. What you want to do, select polygon, and you can start drawing the second building. Let's say you can't finish the project within that particular time frame that you have, and you want to close down your files and so on. Make sure you save your arc map, make sure you save your edits as you go, and you can continue the same process by going in editor, clicking on create features. When this pops up, click on buildings and choose the construction tool that you want, and start digitizing. This is called heads up digitizing. So this is example of buildings. I'm going to stop here, stop editing. And if you right click on your attribute table for buildings, there is one polygon. There's one polygon here. Okay, one polygon. And because we registered the data frame properties, okay, using a projected coordinate system, and we are digitizing the new layer using this coordinate system. Okay, we can actually ask ArcMap to help us calculate the area size of our polygon. Okay, before that, let me check the data frame properties. What unit is it using? Okay, general. So it's using meters. The display should be in meters as well. Apply. I'm going to use OK. All right. So right click on buildings, open attribute table. I want to know what is the shape, what is the size of my polygon. Okay, but do this only after you have digitized all your relevant polygons, which are the buildings. All you have to do is add field. It will give us a new column. Okay, what's the name? I'm gonna say area. Okay, so it will be probably a float. Okay, there's gonna be decimal places. Okay, and I'm gonna click OK. So what is the area? Right click on this. Okay, sorry, right click on, I have to clear selected features first. Okay, right click, right click on the name area, the title of it, calculate geometry. Okay, when this warning comes up, just say yes. Okay, and what do you want to calculate? I want to calculate area. Since it's a polygon, you can calculate area. Use this coordinate source. Yes. What's the unit you want to use? There are several options here. I'm going to use square meters. I'm going to click OK. Okay, yes. So without having to use, what's the other method of calculating? So without having to use this manually, okay, and measure a polygon by clicking, it does give us an estimate. Without using this tedious method, I now have the size of my polygon. It gives me an area of 11416. Remember, what's the unit? It's square meters. We selected square meters. Okay, so once you have digitized all your relevant polygons, the buildings, you can add field, okay, and ask ArcMap to calculate area. So those who are doing a research on let's say land use cover, okay, those who are digitizing different land use covers, areas, and so on, you can easily calculate your polygons by this method. Okay, so let's say you were to digitize the lake. One of the tasks is to digitize a lake. So if you were to use just this FSSA, you can't see the lake completely. So you can overlay both and digitize from both images of what you can see. Okay, so this is the lake. Later, you can overlay them and you give them a color, suitable color. I'm just gonna roughly show you how to do this. Okay, so our catalog again, you right click here, new shapefile. So again, it's gonna be lake. Okay, so is it going to be a point, line, or polygon? Of course, it's a polygon. Again, edit this. Okay, projected coordinate. Okay, TM Malaysia, Malay. Okay, so this comes up lake. Here it's going to be blue. I'm going to make it hollow. Outline color will be in. Okay, I'm going to make it fill color. No color 0. Okay, so when I digitize this later, a blue color line will appear, but it's actually a polygon, even though it's a line, because I've made the symbology to become hollow. Okay, let's start with lake. Click on lake editor, start editing. So start editing, click on this, close this one. Which layer are you editing? Okay, so if you want to add buildings, you can do so, but now I'm going to draw the lake. So I'm selecting lake, and again, I can't use circle, I can't use rectangle. So I'll show you why I can't use these two tools here. If I were to choose circle to draw my lakes, it will look like this. I click once and it will give me a circle like this. So my leg is not this and it's not suitable. So just because this is highlighted, just click delete from your computer. Okay, the object will be deleted. If I were to use rectangle, okay, I am not able to draw the curves because it will give me a rectangle shape. Okay, again, I don't want that. So what I want is, I'm just gonna increase this outline. Okay, what I want is to use the polygon tool. Okay, which means I can click on vertices. Okay, so that I can capture the curve of the leg. Okay, so let's just roughly try. Okay, if you can't see it, you can enlarge it like that, but because you can try that on your own. Okay, I'm gonna start from here. Okay, so I don't know if this is a leg. I don't think so. I'm gonna just skip that, and I'm gonna just skip it like this. This is just the leg that we see, so I'm not sure if it's accurate, but okay. Okay, for you all, okay, make sure you click the vertices better than I do. Okay, don't have a large interval between the vertices, because that means it's lower in resolution, coarser. So you need to click more so that you can capture the curves better. So I did not do that. So you can see the curves are sharp. Okay, instead of a pretty curve, it's sharp. But because I want to save time, that's what I'm going to do for now. So remember, save edits. Okay, on the last point, remember to double click save edits and then stop editing. Okay, so this is my leg. All right, so I have buildings, I have legs. So this is how you do polygons. But what if you were to draw lines? Okay, so the task asks you to draw the roads as lines. So what you can do is actually draw from the middle of the road here instead of drawing both sides. You can draw both sides if you want to, but let's say just draw one line in the middle of the road here. So let's say you want to add roads, new, right click on the folder, click new, shapefile. This time I'm going to put roads, and that will be polyline. Okay, so it will be projected again, UTM, Malaysia, Timbaland. Okay. Okay. All right. So again, editor, start editing. Click on this, create features, close catalog, and you see that these are all the features that we have, okay, in the table of contents. So which one do you want to edit or create? We want to create roads. But if we were to use this symbol, it will be so difficult to see on the arc map in our display. So I'm just gonna select these ready symbologies here. Just say I'm gonna choose this expressway. I can enlarge that to 4, 5, 6. So the size increases 10. Okay, just say that this is our choice. So if we want to select roads, okay, we haven't started any editing, but I'm happy with this symbol. Okay, again, construction tool, we're going to choose line, okay, and we're going to start clicking. Okay, so let's say we start from here. Okay, you can change the symbols symbology later, so don't worry if you think this is permanent. No, this symbology can be changed. Okay, so let's say we're going to stop here for a while. Okay, double click on the last vertex, and okay, so we're happy with this. Editor, save edits. Okay, and then we want to add another road here. Okay, click on this. Sorry, click on roads, line, start drawing again. Okay, save edits. And let's say we want to add another one here. Okay, so save edits. Okay, so you can continue by drawing other roads and whatnot, and then you stop editing. Okay, so now if we were to open the attribute table for roads, okay, you see that there are 3 features created. Okay, 3 separated features, all the shape of lines. Okay, and let's see, if we want to know which feature is which, just click on that row and it will highlight the selection. Okay, so feature 0, okay, the first one on the top is this road. Feature 1 is this road. Okay, feature 2 is the other road. Okay, similar to, that's clear feature, similar to the polygons that we created, we can add field and ask our map to calculate the length of our lines. Okay, so let's put a title to our new column. Again, I'm going to put float, click OK. And then on the name of length, right click, calculate geometry. Select yes, length, yes. So we're going to use meters as our selection. Okay, since it's a line, we can't calculate area. Even if you draw a polygon or you draw a shape of a building using lines, it won't calculate area for you. Okay, since at the beginning we selected line, we defined the new layer as a line, so you are not able to calculate area. Okay, so I'm happy with meters. Okay, just click yes. So it says that road 0, okay, road with the ID 0 has this length, road with the ID 1, okay, this one is 122 in meters, and road 2 is 52 length in meters. Okay, so you get that. It's easy, right? So you can do that for lakes as well. I'm not going to do that. And if you have time and you think you find heads up digitizing fun, try to add a new layer which consists of points, okay, instead of lines and polygons. So new, let's say I'm giving example shapefile. This time it's going to be point. I'm going to put, let's say, trees. Okay, again, edit coordinate system. TM, Timalai. Okay, all right. So start editing. Click on create features. Let's close this one. This time I'm going to select trees. But if I were to use this symbol as I click my trees, I can't see them on the map. Okay, so what I need to do is change the color. Probably I'm going to use this shape or this shape. Okay, I'm going to change the color to red. Click OK. Okay, maybe it's too big. Let's try 1, trees, point. So probably it's too big. Okay, so I'm going to decrease the size. So, okay, probably this is, say, so this is a smaller dot. Okay, let's say these are trees. Okay, and these are trees. Okay, so I'm just gonna roughly, okay, add and, okay, trees. Let's say trees along here. So, and so on. Okay, anything. So I'm gonna just save edits, stop editing. Okay, and if I open the attribute table, okay, there are 35 points that I've created. Okay, starting from ID 0 to 34. Okay, and as you can see, points do not have a length or shape, so you are unable to calculate geometry. But there are other interesting things or information you can add to your column here at field, which is the coordinates of your trees. But I'm not going to teach you in this time. It's an advanced, um, uh, e- more advanced class. But I'm happy if you already know how to do heads-up digitizing. Okay. So once you're happy with your layers, whatever you have created, I don't know if you want to draw more, okay? And let's say I'm going to remove this FSA layer, and I have the Google Earth map as a base map as a background map, okay? Which is kind of nice to add on to. So by using this, okay, I want you to create a map as I've listed down the features that you need to digitize, okay, in the last page of your Prac. Okay, so be creative, make your map interesting. You probably can change the symbology of the buildings to probably, let's say, not hollow. Maybe you want to make it gray in color, whatever. Find whatever symbology or colors that is suitable and so on. So as you can see, because we digitized the buildings using the FSSA layer, and that photo was captured at a different angle to this one, you see that the digitizing process is not that accurate or not similar. So probably best to use one layer, which is just UMS3, to make your or to carry out your heads up digitizing project for today. And yeah, I'm looking forward to see what creative map you have created for today's prac. So make it interesting, but not too fancy. Remember, your audience wants to see a map that gives them proper information. Okay, so choose the colors wisely, the size of the symbols wisely, um, and so on. Okay, you can use labels. Okay, you want to write down here FSSA and so on. I can show you. This is in data view mode. So let's say layout view. Okay, so I'm not happy with this. I'm gonna change landscape. Click OK. So I will increase this size. Okay, I'm gonna decrease this. Okay, so now, okay, I want to have this as full screen. Okay, okay, maybe a bit more. See if I can do that. Okay, so this is the maximum. So my map later would be something like this. Okay, so all right. If you think this is a size that you're happy with, once you add the legends, and you can also, let's say, once you've completed, you can add, insert title, text, and so on. Okay, remember we've done this, so you can insert text. Okay, double click. Where's my box of text? It's missing. Insert text. Oh, it's here. Double click on it. So let's say it's FSA. Okay, I'm gonna change the symbol. Okay, let's say Arial 18. Okay, so red color. Okay, bold. Okay, apply. Okay, so I'll bring this in here. FSSA. You can probably label the lab. Okay, you can label, digitize the parking lot and whatnot. You can digitize here, whatever. Make your own map of FSSA and be creative about it. But at least you have the elements that I've requested, and don't forget the important map elements. So today that's all for heads up digitizing. It's simple, it's easy, but sometimes we do make mistakes. Don't worry, repeat it again. It's not that difficult. Okay, digitizing is not difficult, and you can always redo it. Okay, so okay, all the best. Good luck for Prac number 4 before we continue with the Prac number 5.